right, what we doing?
We're cranking up the lights now, so everyone can see. It's all happening right now. We're gonna make you believe. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's about to get...
Hello everybody, Willie Herrera here, e.s.t. I'm here to talk to you about BOTL. What is BOTL? BOTL stands for Brothers of the Leaf. It is an online community of cigar geeks who enjoy smoking smaller ring gauge cigars. They share cigars and knowledge and teach each other, and they are a cigar lifestyle group that truly enjoys cigars. The BOTL cigar was released in 2012-2013. It was released for the BOTL.org community. Let me tell you a little bit about the blend. So the wrapper is a Connecticut stock cut broadleaf. It has a Connecticut shade binder and all Nicaraguan fillers. Now in the filler is a special part. We had 2 extra ligero leaves that was added to that took a little bit extra fermentation time. The BOTL community enjoys small ring gauges. Because of that, we chose 3 formats that fits that profile. We have a Corona Gorda 6x46, Corona 5x44, and a Lancero 7x38. So this cigar is made exclusively for our DDRP accounts. Make sure you go into our e.s.t Diplomat app, look up what DDRP accounts are close to you. Go out and grab them all for your BOTL brothers, smoke them all. Keep in mind, this is a limited release. Limited numbers are going to be made every year, so go out and grab them.
Welcome to Sunday Recap. I'm your host, JB, here in beautiful sunny South Florida and the iconic Espinosa Studios. And boy, do we have a very, very special show for you guys today. I am going to be alone today within the studio, but not on the show. And my guest today is somebody who shares a passion for photography just like me. So today's episode, we're going to delve into photography because a lot of the times I get asked questions about, oh, why do I do this type of photography? And why don't I do this? And I want to explain to people that there's literally 33 different types of photographer, and that's just the bare minimum of what I could find as far as a list goes. So I'm gonna bring our guest onto the show, and you guys may know him. He's an iconic smoker himself. He has been in the group for a while. He's very good friends with Colin. And he was a South Florida resident, but nowadays he seems to be more Jamaican than anything else after that trip he took. So I'll bring him on. Welcome, David, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, JB. Thank you for having me on, and certainly ready to have a great show.
So yeah, man. So again, congratulations on your honeymoon and the wedding and everything like that. You know, and then some of those spectacular pictures that you took while you were down there in Jamaica, man, was just absolutely amazing. So, tell us a little bit about your trip before we get into the whole photography thing.
Thank you, sir. I certainly appreciate that. Yeah, we just recently got married in Jamaica in June of this year, and just a beautiful setting, beautiful island with the people that are just amazing, very welcoming. And just really enjoy being down there, and very just relaxed, and can smoke a nice cigar, have a good drink, and not worry about the rest of the craziness that's going on in the world. So got to have a good wedding and a nice little time off, and it was a good time. Ready to go back and do it again real soon.
I need to go back and just stay there for a year and just clear my mind. But yeah,
Great.
So I am going to be lighting up a cigar in a second, actually. I heard you got one set aside ready to go for yourself as well. Are you pairing it with anything? Are you pairing yours with anything?
No, I'm not this morning. This morning, I'm just going to do the cigar, have a nice David off here that I'm going to smoke, and enjoy this while we do our show.
Well, I have it's a bourbon bourbon barrel aged coffee here.
Ooh.
This is from Coffee by Key. So in the midst of us getting started, I am going to go ahead and grind these beans and do everything while we're sitting on the show. So a very special shout out to Coffee by Key, because she made two she's testing out two blends for this particular type. Man, I wish you could smell this, bro.
I'm sure it smells amazing.
Absolutely amazing. So yeah, man. So how'd you get into photography? Number one. Let's start with that question right there.
Well, my grandfather actually got me into it. My grandfather, as I was growing up, always had a camera around his neck, and he was always taking photos every day of wherever we went, to family picnics, crab feast, those kind of things. And so got into it through high school many years ago, and it was cool because it got to go out during class and just really go around the school and try to look for very unique photos, and then go into the dark room and, you know, not like nowadays where everything's digital, but actually, you know, create the photos on paper and the different chemicals and things of that nature. And that just gave me a love for it. And I love the history of photography and how it was way back in the day of the light exposure on the thing to try to, you know, create an image that will last a lifetime.
Yeah, bro. I actually can't think of my first camera. I'm trying to remember the model. Like for me, it was just I started photography because I like having the memories of hanging out and going places or whatever like that. So I was just the same. I usually had a camera. You know, I started in the age of film where you had to take the pictures, then take them to like Walgreens or Eckerd's, whatever your time frame is, or however you old our audience is. You know, and you would go there, you give it to them, and then they would print them out for you. Then you go back and pick them up or whatever like that. Bro, I remember going there as like 16, 15, and then you go get your pictures, and then they'd have like the stack there. And if you were lucky, they let you go through a stack to find your pictures or whatever. And then there'd be like pictures of like people would be doing nudes and putting them in there. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah, you had to be careful what you took there to get printed out.
Yeah, bro. So it was definitely one of those experiences that was definitely different or whatever. And the way I got into this tobacco or cigar photography was due to an event that they were having at Aficionados Pembroke Pines. I went there. I got invited over to go hang out and check out their event. So then I took a day off just to go hang, and then it happened to be with Eric Espinosa Sr. So I took my camera and I started taking a few pictures, and I was like, man, you know what? This is so cool. And then it's just the way I was getting to capture the essence of what was truly going on. Like Eric was doing like magic tricks. He was lifting people in the chairs and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I have the folder. I'll probably post it up or repost it in the group so you guys could take a look at it. But it was such an amazing time. And I said, you know what? I need to do this more often. And then I slowly started going into different events, and I was able to have a grand old time and truly enjoy myself. So what do you say you concentrate on as far as pictures go?
My biggest thing is landscapes. I love being out in nature. I live now in Southern Maryland, which we have obviously DC and, you know, the monuments and things of that nature. But I'm always just going and trying to find unique things that just catch my eye as I'm driving down the road. If I just see a train track somewhere or an old building somewhere that looks run down, I like to go take photos of things of that nature and try to, you know, just capture an image that maybe, you know, people may pass by it every single day and not even realize it's there. And then I can capture it and maybe, you know, get an image of it that just stands out and looks very unique. So, you know, that's where I'm into. I want to try to just really think outside the box and try to go get photos of things that people wouldn't usually see, even though they're in their every day-to-day life as they, you know, are in the area.
Yeah, it seems like it actually seems like you've gone and into several different categories. when it comes to the photography, which is cool. You know what I mean? Like I think that being the fact that you can go from genre to genre does make the biggest difference in the world. But the few that you named so far, as you were racking off your photos, let's go here. I'll go down there. So you have landscape photography. I'll give you that. You have actually I haven't seen you do portrait, but I've seen you do some family shots. Like from you also have you do street photography, and then you've done some birds. I'll give you that one too as well. And then a couple product shots, which we'll be showing in a bit. And then yeah, and then the long exposure. I
Yes.
talked about that the other day. You've done some long exposure, some travel. So yeah, you have at least 10 on your list already, man. You know?
Yeah, I like that variety. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm not the one thing that I mean, I certainly like doing like the family portraits and things of that nature, but I like sticking to more like products and things of that nature. Like I said, if I can go out and do some long photography at nighttime and long exposure where I can capture an image that you maybe wouldn't see. And then, like I said, even like with the different product photography of setting up different things and trying to create an image that just, really stands out and really just, really.
So yeah,
Really.
let's go ahead and we'll start with one of your pictures here. All right. So what we'll do is we'll start with tell us about walk us into how you set up this session that you did. You actually you have a spare bedroom in your room.
Yep. So, I was just thinking of doing a cool. I knew that I had this old deck of playing cards, and I wanted to certainly try to set up an image with our cigars and our coin, our iconic coin. So I was walking in, and over in the corner, we just have a nightstand there that has a nice textured table. This is the table that I used right here, and as I was kind of positioning it, I brought it in front of this window in front of my house, and the way the light was coming through, it just kind of created a nice natural lighting to kind of shine down on that table and give the nice texture of the wood that's on that table. So I thought that would be a good backdrop to use to set up kind of this more rustic looking photo that I was going for. So that's kind of where just I was going in that room just to get the table only and bring it out somewhere else to try to come up with a location to take the shot. But as I was just bringing it out, my mind was open to seeing an opportunity where that window and that light really helped with what I was going for as I was going to set up the products on that table to try and capture an image that I would be happy with.
So this is your original image.
Yep.
Right here. So and then it's actually where'd you find that Jack Daniels playing card case? Because that thing is very unique. The cards themselves are Jack Daniel. Well, you can see the wear and tear on them. Just beautiful.
Surprisingly enough, I've had that deck of cards now for probably 20 years, and I don't even really remember where I got it from, but I just knew that I had it, and I hadn't ever done any photos with it. And I thought that would just be, when I originally had it many, many years ago, I just thought that would be a cool thing to just kind of have. And it just kind of fell into place when I thought about using that as a nice, most times people are playing poker or things of that nature and having a good cigar, kind of like how they were back in the day in the Western days and things of that nature. So that's why I try to put those pieces together to create that photo.
So then I'm going to put up your after edit version of it. And you really brought out the colors within the coin, and you can see some of the more grainier details when it comes to the actual box and the cigar and the Jack Daniel box itself, which was absolutely amazing. That was one of the ones that I was really like taken away by. And then let's see if I have that same photo here. See if we can get it on the screen. Let's see. We got a few comments here. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? John, what's going on, sir? Johnny Smokes. And then there's a few other ones. I can't see their names, but there's a couple people on the chat here.
We enjoy everyone being on.
So thank you guys for watching. All right, let's see. All right, so this is another version of your photo. I actually went ahead And because I wanted to show the difference in editing styles and techniques. You go for I was trying to find the same one. Here, you know what? Let's go to your. Let's see if I can go to your train. You have this train picture that you took that was absolutely astounding. Where is it? Right here. All right. So I got that coming up. It'll give us a few seconds to load it. All right. So this is your original. Check
Yep.
that. So tell us how did you find that. What was your thought process behind it? What drove you to take that photo?
Down close to where I live here in Southern Maryland, there's a rock and sand quarry. That train sits there. They don't use it anymore, but they used to use it back in the day for, I guess, moving supplies around. And that train has been there for as long as I've been in this area. And just go by it every once in a while I'm going down the road, and saw it and thought it'd be fun to go there. And just, once again, it just, it looks old and rustic, and I kind of like those type of things. And so I thought it'd be neat to kind of get down by the track. Obviously it's not moving, so I was safe, and, just take a different perspective. Most people may just go up and try to stand by that train and just take it standing up. But at the end of the day, I like to give a little bit more into it when I look into my photos, as far as, capturing it from the actual track. I basically set my camera down on the track, turned it a little bit so it wasn't perfectly straight on.
You gave it a nice tilt access.
Yep. And then, just to kind of capture that image. And then, what I like to do a lot of times with editing in my photos is just to enhance it a little bit better, bring out a little bit more of the colors to make those pop in the image. So that way it just kind of stands out a little bit more. You can certainly do a lot of crazy things with editing processes, but I like to just basically enhance and try to, bring it a little bit more to life than what the original was. Yeah, you can see where the clouds weren't quite as blue that day, and the colors on the train weren't quite as enhanced. So
yeah. So I love the way that you can breathe life into pictures with just a little bit of enhancement. So you have your original there, you have your version of the edit here where you added the additional colors. I went ahead and did a little bit more just to bring it forward, just to kind of show, because I like to show the rust spots within the train. So you can tell, like, right on the edges where you can see all the nice cuts and everything. So I wanted to enhance it a little further. And then I checked to see, like, if we made it straight up, what would it look like? And that was the results. And it's pretty cool being able to do that without having the actual camera in hand. So, and we were talking about that, how people can edit photos in different styles and formats, but the quality is still always the same. Yep. You've done water photography. You've done a few things here. Let's see. Let's pull up this one. Hopefully let me see it. This might be the edited version. I'm loading this as we go along. So yep. Yeah, man, this is absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Oh
yeah. Once again, I mean, here was a time that I had to be in Washington D.C. at a meeting on a Saturday at 8 a.m. and wasn't planning on going down other than just to go down for my meeting, but then thought, hey, what a great time to maybe get down there a couple of hours prior to and take some photos of the city with nobody around. The sunrise was coming up. I love black and white photography because it shows really a wide range of different shadows and things of that nature. So that's, how I went ahead and turned that original photo into like a black and white photo. And I think it just brings a whole nother element to the image and what you're trying to capture and what you may be going for.
Yeah. So what I liked about the image, the colored version, in that colored version, which it's tilted a little bit in the photo. This is I didn't do much extra work. I was just looking for certain things. But if you can, like, I wish I could zoom in, but you'll notice that in the water itself, the reflection of the building, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have the horse, and then you have some colors where the building entryway is, like where it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, this was a great shot. Here's another one that you took. This one was just rich in color and grain, and the details of how everything was set really captured it. So tell us a little bit about this one.
This one here is I actually made that checkerboard table in high school for my 12th grade senior project, and I'm getting ready to turn 46 in a few months, so you can see how old that table is. But it just has really rich color into it, and I love the texture of the table. So I thought that once again that would be another good backdrop for what I really wanted to take the photo of. That watch belonged to my father. He passed away couple years back and stuff like that. So I really love that watch. It's a family heirloom of mine that I just really love, and I just think it has great details. And then to add the box there in the back is actually a wooden jewelry box that's handmade and hand cut that kind of comes apart like a puzzle. And then I added my knife into it just to kind of just give it a little bit of depth there with the different products that were in there. But I was really focusing more on the watch itself, and then just using the others to kind of enhance the photos. That's why they're not even as in focus as the watch itself is. And I was just kind of using those as a good backdrop as a setting for that.
Nice. And then you have this one right here, man. This is one of those ones that you're like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Because you were able to, you kind of use the trees as a like guide for the photo, and it just kind of like, it's like you set the trees intentionally to make the clouds look bigger than they are, and then the lightning just separated and divided and conquered. It was just absolutely amazing there.
Yeah, and this was just being in the right place at the right time. This is actually out the back of my house, and I could see a storm was coming, and didn't even really know how to take lightning photography. So I hurried up and jumped on YouTube real quick and grabbed some settings for my camera, and basically took that from my bedroom window, and just got lucky that I took a couple of other shots prior to, but I just stayed after it, and eventually that one came in. And sometimes you don't even realize what kind of shot you're going to get until afterwards. And when I started really diving into that one, it just really was amazing how many little bolts of lightning had come off there. And then I just spent a good little bit of time. I had a couple different versions that I came up with, and it just really enhanced it to where it's like, I can't believe that I took that photo out of my backyard and was able to see something like that. And usually we see lightning driving down the road or from our house, and it's a second is all you get to have with that time. And with this photo, every time I see that photo, it takes me right back to that night of kind of going through those steps and what I was able to do to capture that image, and now have that image for a lifetime, and it'll always take me back to that night of me getting that shot.
Yeah, man, I absolutely love this that picture.
Thank
you. You did an absolutely amazing job in that one. Then you went into you mix product photography with landscape photography on this one.
Yep. Here's another one where we were just at a park and just walking through a park, and this happens to be one of my other watches that I was wearing that day, and the way the sunlight was coming down through the woods and kind of like landing on this mossy area on the ground. It was right around the fall time, so the leaves had fallen a little bit as well too. And the first shot I took, the leaves weren't in there the way that I'd set those up. It was just the moss and the watch itself. And so just adding a little bit of that, bringing the leaves over and just kind of letting them just slightly, cover over the watch, I felt just enhanced the photo that much more to really give it a good way. And just the way the light was kind of coming down through the trees and just hitting a spot that, as I was walking through a path, it just looked like the right thing. And just trying to think all the time of like, with that, what could I do there? I saw the area. I looked down, saw my watch on my arm, was like, let me take this off and see if I can create a good shot. And that's what it came out to be.
No, and it definitely was one of the ones that's very significant in the manner in which you chose the label watch, the different variations in the moss. You have like the 3-4 tones that are going there, which I thought was absolutely incredible. And here's this shot again. This is another one. It has your coin number there, iconic smoker number 46.
Yep, I love my iconic coin.
So yeah, man, those are definitely some shots that I really, really, truly enjoy. I'm trying to, let's see if this thing will load right now. But I'm definitely digging everything that you're doing as far as the photography. I know you've been taking your time to hone your craft, and you've definitely aided me in honing in mine. I've gone and we've exchanged photos. We've discussed different photography styles and everything like that. You sent me a plethora of your collection, and I've sent you a plethora of mine. And you know, I thank my brother, Mr. Joseph, for introducing us, because not only do you enjoy photography, you enjoy cigars. So how do you combine the two fields?
I just, I mean, photography to me is very relaxing, and I love just doing that on my off time. And smoking a good cigar is very relaxing as well too. So it's nice because they kind of go hand in hand. Where, I can be out somewhere and trying to take a nice landscape photography. I can have a good cigar and just kind of blend the two. And so I certainly enjoy that. You can. I feel that there's a lot of avenues that cigars can go hand in hand with. If you're at different types of events and things of that nature, a good party or a wedding, or, taking photography or things of that nature. So I look at cigar smoking as a good pastime to really just kind of unwind, relax, and enjoy that time. And when I'm out taking photography, I'm just kind of in the zone of doing that, and I let all my other cares go away. Much like when I'm smoking a good cigar, that I can just I'm not worried about work. I'm not worried about, anything else other than just trying to relax and just take some time for myself to enjoy the good things in life.
Now, are you planning on getting into videography by any chance, or are you sticking to the photography realm at this point?
I think I'm going to stick to the photography end of it right now. Videography is certainly a very skilled craft as well too. I'm interested in it. I certainly enjoy learning more about it, but I feel like I have a better hand in the photography end of it more than the video. But I wouldn't say no to it. But at the end of the day, I just really trying to hone my craft now more towards my photography, and really trying to build that first. And then if I, find an avenue that allows me to take more videography, then I probably would do that as well too.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick Drew Estate commercial break here, because I left my my system for the coffee, and I would really like to enjoy it because I didn't get to smell the beans. I'm kind of upset at myself, so we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Got my coffee.
There you go.
Got my little system here ready to go. I'm just leveling out the everything here. Looks like I can make another one, so I definitely want to try that out. Go ahead and gonna hit the button and get the water going. I'm actually gonna be pairing it with the Iconic Smoker Volume 1 cigar. So I'm hoping.
Very nice.
Well, I know how the cigar tastes and smells. It's 4 years in the making, so I should know how the cigar goes. So
well, I don't know what those are like yet. So I'm going to have to make sure that I get my hands on some of those. So we'll make sure that we get a group of those set up my way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? So I haven't had the time to like truly do the formal advertising that I would normally do for any other release or anything of that nature. This was a passion project. I wanted something for the group members, you know what I mean? So this particular wrapper, I can't get it anymore. So the cigars are limited. So I mean, it's kind of bittersweet, because do I rush and put it out there so everybody can buy them up, and then they all be gone, and then I'll be stuck trying to hoard the little stock that I have, and then every time somebody asks me for one, then I have to like, oh, or do I tell a few people about them, and the believers, they partake, they smoke it, and then if you like it, obviously you have a bigger stash for yourself down the line, right? So it's kind of like quid pro quo here. So I'll definitely have to figure that out or whatever. I do have a plethora of stores and friends and everything who've been asking. So I'm just hoping to be able to do the right thing. I'll just say that.
Nice.
Whatever
We always know that you're doing that, JB. So we understand totally everything that you go into and everything that you do. I mean, you have a lot going on in your day to day. I don't even know how just the relationship that you and I've had recently and how much we've communicated more. I don't know how you get through half the things you do in your day.
I sit next to a guy who does magic. So
That's okay.
that's the great part about being next to the magician. And speaking of the magician, I took a great photo of him. I'll put that up right now. So this is him sitting there with the iconic shirt on, and then you can see the sun's just barely going across his eye, and then the smile that's just coming out his face is phenomenal. The only one regret that I have about this picture is you see that little tag right there that has the price of the damn chair. Yeah, it's just one of those things that you forget to take off. So that was like but I absolutely love that picture. You know what I mean? And then so do you take pictures of yourself or like self portraits and everything like that, or do you hire people?
I've done a couple. I when I was kind of learning my gear and stuff like that, I went out and you can obviously there's so many different features and options now that you can have where I actually was able to link my phone to my camera and I can go out and put a delay on the shot, set my camera up on a tripod, and then basically use my phone to set the photo in action. And so that's about all I would ever do as far as taking photos of myself. But that was more just for fun and trying to just see what I could do with my gear. And that's the nice thing too, is like there's so many different things you can dive into that you can almost be doing something different every time that you go out and trying new things every day, which that's what, if you did the same thing every day, it may get a little bit old and boring, but really trying to just broaden your, abilities to get out and learn more things.
Yeah, I've definitely had some fun and I don't really have too many shots of myself usually because I critique them so much, but this was one of the ones that I did using like you said the timer on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of video flashes and everything, so I'm actually ordering more gear. Right? So like
That gets dangerous quick.
yeah, no, and it adds up so much that you absolutely don't know what to do on some days because you're like, geez, how much did I just spend? Like right now, I have to order. I'm ordering the Aperture 300D, so it's like $1,100 for the lights, and then like $300 for the softbox, which is definitely one of those things that I've been trying to hold off on. But people don't realize how much lighting affects photography so much, especially indoors and outdoors.
It makes a huge difference.
And it definitely does. You could be outside in the sun, but the sun isn't at the angle that you want it. So then you have to bring lights that can display as a sun, and that's what a Aperture 300, or even if you start with the 120. The 120 it's not as bright, so you can't really use it outdoors as well. But the 300, you can definitely use that to replace the sun. It's just those type of lights, they take up so much space, but they're worth every single penny, because as soon as you take that first shot, especially if you're in this to make money, you definitely get to enjoy it. So I think my coffee's is ready. I got to my first cup here.
We'll all be ready to know how well it tastes, because I'm sure with the reaction of just how well it smelled, I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
So you said you brought some gear, right? You got some camera gear with you that you wanted to show off?
Yeah, I did.
Or to show during the show. What you took with the what you utilized to take your pictures with, which is all right. Go ahead. Let's see it.
Right now I'm using it's a Canon. It's an 800D, which is equivalent to a T7i.
Yeah.
It's a you know, it's the biggest thing that I like is that you can actually change out the lenses. And that's the big thing that I stepped up to recently, is where, you know, starting off, I was using cameras where the lens was integrated into the camera itself. And that can only give you so many options of being able to really take different types of photography. Like this right here, this morning,
That's a crop sensor camera, right?
it is. That's correct. Over a full frame camera. So, but this is my zoom lens that I have on here. This one here is a 55 to 250 millimeter lens. I had this one on this morning just because there was actually like a bald eagle flying out around the back of my house, and I wanted to see if I could hurry up and snap a couple photos of it. So that's what I had on there. But being able to change out the lens, really, I feel really makes a big difference on being able to give you different options of what you want to have, whether it's, you know, wide angle lens, you know, telephoto lenses, those kind of things, of what you're trying to be able to take photos of.
Oh, yeah, I actually use one of the cameras that I'm using right now is the Canon RP, and it's a full frame, but it's considered an entry level full frame. The reason I like that one is because it's lightweight, unlike like the R5 or the R6, where you're paying massive amounts. This one comes in pretty young or whatever. And then I just ruined one of my my camera lenses here.
Oh, wow.
So put some coffee in it by accident. So
There you go. I like that. Take out the glass and just pour in the coffee.
Nah,
pretty neat.
I grabbed this. Actually, does the buttons work? Nah, I guess they don't. But that would have been cool. And they made the buttons work. No, this is one of these lens cups, because you know I had to be a geek in photography and coffee, right? So why not combine the two worlds? You know, so this is a 24 to 105 Can EM, that's CANIAM zoom lens EF, and it's a 1.4 ISM. And then obviously, you know, it has the red ring, so it means it's expensive.
Right. Yes, that does. That usually does mean that. I have another lens right here that I just recently got that has that same red ring on it as well too.
Which one did you pick up?
This one is my 16 to 35 millimeter.
That is one of the most. That's the absolute best day-to-day lens that you can buy. Period.
Yep, that's what a lot of people certainly were saying, and I love it. I just recently picked that up a few months back, and it really takes a great shot as well too. So I was happy to bring that into my collection as well.
So what's a bucket shot picture for you right now?
I mean, probably one of the best ones that I really always just think about is that lightning shot. I mean, that's kind of like my go-to. As far as ones I've already taken, or ones that I'm thinking about like trying to get out and make?
The one shot that you want to have. I have two.
Okay.
I'll give you one.
Okay.
So the first one for me is to go to Japan and capture the sea of koi fish that they got roaming through the city. So that one, I think the colors, the depth of that you'll get from that photo alone, and being the fact that it's like my bucket list photo, the absolute time that I would take to get that properly done, I think that picture would come out like $10 million. You know what I mean? So that's one of them. So
yeah, I think one of mine is I've always dreamed about going to Alaska. I've never been there before, and like doing like a helicopter ride up to like a glacier and really taking some shots out there. I think that just is, you know, something that you really would never get to see unless you're in that location. And you know, I like being able to see new things. So I think that would be on my next list of things to be able to get out to try to go do that. And just the adventure behind it all, of like, you know, having to travel to Alaska, take a tour of a helicopter ride out to the glacier. They land and let you get out and, you know, kind of go exploring, and then set up and do some really just shots from out there that would be very interesting, I believe.
Dude, I actually almost thought you were gonna say the aurora lights. I thought that's what you were gonna go with, and then I was like, "Oh, he found my second bucket list shot." But no, you went completely left. He's like, "I want a helicopter. I want." Yes.
The lights would be awesome as well too. I always think that'd be a fun thing to be able to get up there and go see as well too. I mean, certainly that's those kind of things that are, that nature provides us. That's just beauty in all its glory.
So what would you recommend to somebody trying to get into photography?
Go out and just start taking photos. I mean, the biggest thing is that, as far as the different gear and things that you can have, I mean, the biggest thing is just going out and doing it and trying to just take lots of photos, because I mean, as you and I know, I mean, we'll take 1,000 photos to get the one that we really feel that really is the one that we love the most. And so, having the ability to do digital photos now and just take hundreds and hundreds of photos of maybe the same shot, but it just something will be just perfect with it that just stands out above all the rest. So just doing that, and then just trying to talk with other people like us that, get out here and do this. And, we're all a big family and we like to try to certainly help everybody out. And I don't know everything, but I'm trying to reach out and learn more from, different avenues, and just, taking the time to do it. And if you have concerns or questions, reaching out and asking, because that's how you'll learn more about it, is you just try to get out there and, be involved. So that's where I'd say that if you want to get out there and take those photos and, start off with something and find the avenue that likes the best with you and what you want to do. I mean, like I said, some people enjoy taking, portraits. Some people enjoy doing nothing but car shows, so it just depends on what your niche is of what you like.
So do you take your, do you like taking your shots straight on or top down?
For my product photography, I like taking down, like facing downwards.
I definitely agree with you, because like, for example, this picture right here that I did, this is for Angry Teddy cigars.
Nice.
So and then I lined up the rounds around it,
Yep.
His whole thing is like stay angry. So and then I tried the forward shot. So this is an example of that. I had just gotten a couple bottles of Blood Oath, just a couple.
I see that.
Because I was waiting for them to come in or whatever, so it was like really on my mind. So it just kind of went into the theme of the cigar and everything like that. So I tried a couple different angles, but the other thing that you have to do is backgrounds. So do you utilize backgrounds? Like, I actually have I just ordered a new batch of backgrounds for my photographs. Is there any particular ones that you use? Or
my biggest thing is that I'm always trying to just come up with different backgrounds. I like my different, I'm always looking like that table that I used, obviously, for the photo with the playing cards. Just having that grain of that wood and the darkness of the color of the wood and things of that nature. So that's what I'm always just thinking outside the box. I've taken photos before. I have like stones and stuff that are out in my garden of my house and stuff. So I'll go out and set things down on the actual stones, or looking just for things of that nature. I even have an old trailer that I pull behind my truck that has a piece of plywood on it that's just weathered and looks very rustic. And so, that's the kind of things that I'm always thinking. I don't, just try to think of new places like that to set up my products as I take those photos.
Yeah, but being the fact that you're out in almost in the middle of nowhere, you have the advantage there. I gotta give it to you, because dude, you can just literally walk like half a block and you're in the middle of some woods or whatever, and you'll be able to get whatever it is that you want. And you can find those different textures and everything like that. Try doing that shit in Miami.
Well, that's where you just get a whole different flair. I mean, in Miami, that's where it's more going to be, I think, like when I think of that, obviously, I mean, I've been to Miami and things of that nature, but I'm thinking down there, I'm thinking more of like something along in the streets, or something along the beach, or, setting up like something where the South Beach is, with the hotels and the restaurants in the background of those things. So that's where I'd be trying to use that as a backdrop, other than just, obviously then, what I have. You have to use what's in your area and just try to think outside the box. That way you can.
Yeah, I've
do
definitely
kind of
tried that, but my whole thing is that I end up getting my butt handed to me, because you gotta pay for this, you gotta go here, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Bro, it adds up pretty quickly down here.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So at the end of the day, I'm definitely looking forward to growing the art of photography. I think what I need to spend more time in now is I want to do a lot more landscape photography as far as birds, nature, you know, and other animals. I think that'll be great. So
Well, you just need to come on out here and come to Washington, D.C. for a little while, and you can come on down and hang out at my house. I live out on 3 acres in the woods. And just to give you an example of talking about birds and things of that nature, I had one time where we were just sitting out on our back deck here where I'm at today, and it almost sounded like a helicopter was coming, but literally it must have been a million birds, and they were literally just flying through the woods, and they were eating, I guess, or feeding or doing something, but they landed through our trees and our backyard, and my entire backyard was covered in these black birds, and they were just, you could almost feel them and hear them as they were taking off and landing. And, you know, if I wouldn't have been here for that 15 minutes they were here, then I wouldn't have been able to see something like that. So you can come on out here, and I'm sure we could get some good landscapes and wildlife and things of that nature. I had a nice 8-point buck deer in my backyard 2 nights ago that I got a nice photo of that I got to still work on.
man, yeah, no bears back there, right?
No bears. We don't have no bears. We just some turkeys, some deer, and some birds. That's about it.
Okay.
A couple foxes every once in a while.
All right, I could do that, right? As long as you ain't got no bobcats, no bears,
Nope.
nothing that's gonna attack me, but they're gonna run away when they see me. I'm happy with that.
Yep, that's typically what they do. They'll run the minute they you make one little noise. They're off and running. So you'll be fine. I'll keep you safe out here, man. You'll be fine.
So speaking of this this coffee, now that I've had it, blend 1 and blend number 2, I am going to say that blend number 1 is my favorite, simply because it's a little bit more subtle in the bourbon infusion. This one, they took on a different take of the way the bourbon is infused, so it's a little bit stronger. So if you want, and I like the subtleness of number 1, because you can sell it to the populace. You know what I mean? More people can actually buy it, drink it, and enjoy it. This one, even if you're a bourbon drinker, you know, even all bourbons are different. So you have to understand this one, because it's a little bit more complex. So you'll have to be an actual bourbon drinker to understand it. And then so it really makes her audience very small. So Coffee by Key, Tanisha, if you're watching, I would go with number 1, but that's just me. You have the final say, so it's your company. You know, her company's she's a veteran who does coffee. She actually orders coffee from farmers from different locations and regions of the world, and like farmers who actually need help and assistance and trying to grow and build their families and everything like that. And then she actually brings the barrels back, and then she packages and does everything on her own. I don't know if she counts the beans, because it seemed like I had a lot of beans in here. So, you know, so I don't know. Maybe she counts them by hand. That's a question I'll have to ask her one day. But
Nice.
definitely. So she sent me these 2 extra package. So I had packet number 1 yesterday and packet number 2, and I have to say I'm more of a friend of packet number 1. And then after this, it's on to her regular blends. So I have like 4 different packages that she has. And my neighbor next door to me is a coffee geek as well. So we trade like Ethiopian coffee and all this stuff. So it's pretty cool. So
awesome.
yeah, man. So I mean, you with your 3 acres, you got to walk like half a year to get to your neighbor's house. So
that's right. Yeah, my neighbor is a little ways away, but that's all right though, because it's very peaceful and quiet. But that's okay though.
Yeah. I have just enough space to feel comfortable. So
it's okay.
But anything else you'd like to tell the audience before we let them go?
No, I just really appreciate being on the show. I think this is a nice, kind of a way of kind of branching out and looking at other things that hopefully will interest people. And certainly at the end of the day, we appreciate everyone joining in. And I just appreciate what you do, JB. At the end of the day, like I said, I know you do a lot for all of us here at Iconic Smokers. And, you know, I really enjoy being.
I'm just part of the whole stock of people who were here with all these different unique skills and talent or whatever, right? Like I don't want to use the phrase Juan tells me that, yeah, I'm not Tito, I can't sit in the back or whatever like that. So I said, all right, so if you want me, I'm not Michael, I don't want to be in the front of the camera all the time and everything like that. In this moment, I'm doing it because there's a need. But
Right.
once there's not a need, let me go be Joe Jackson. Let me beat your ass to greatness.
There you go.
So from now on, everybody can call me Joe.
There you go.
Because nah, man, it's just, if you find people who are very talented in different rights and everything like that, and you just grow their abilities and their potential and let them be them, you know what I mean? Imagine how well off the world would be, watching your talents flourish. You know what I mean? So I
Yep.
mean, I think the group setting helps a lot of people to do what they're able to do and everything like that. And I'm always looking, me personally, like I since I do hang around with so many people, whatever like that, I love the constructive criticism of how to change things and do better and everything like that. Obviously, if constructive criticism didn't happen, you wouldn't have this beautiful display behind us. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be on Facebook and YouTube at 1080p or or 4K to be exact. I mean, we have a plethora of equipment that's coming. We're just waiting on it to be delivered, and then so we can step our game up and just show a little bit more. It's always trying to, if you can wake up today better than you were yesterday, then you're doing a good job. And if you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice. So at least
Yep.
that's how I see it.
I agree with you 100%. Just got to be happy every day and be blessed that we have what we have and enjoy what we have and take the time to appreciate, the little things.
Yeah, man. So on that note, I'm gonna be signing off. I appreciate everybody who took the time to watch this episode. Me and David will definitely talk about doing like another show down the line. Maybe going a little bit more deeper into the photography as well. I don't think we cover all the. All right, the only topics I guess we didn't cover was like nudes, black and white, night shots. I guess tilt shift. Those tilt shift lenses are crazy, but they're crazy expensive as well because you're spending like 2,500 for a lens. But
Yeah.
but like I can definitely put out a list for people who want to see like the best in each category. You have photojournalism, which is great as well. You have still life. Still life is more like a documentary style photography where you take pictures of people in action. So when you see like Juan's birthday party, I made it still life. We didn't record any video at that event, or very little, I may say. So what happened is when you watch the pictures, when you watch his facial expressions, the movement, the action, the hugs, everything like that, you can actually see the storyline. There's about 300 photos in that album, and the people who took the photos were actually not Juan, was actually Chris and Daniel Shee. So shout out to them for delving into that realm. So there's some stuff that we got to touch on, like exposure and depth of field and everything, but they're learning, so give them a break. Everybody ain't the same. There's also event photography and wedding photography. I do not touch wedding photography. How about you, sir?
No. that there, I think that's probably the most thing that scares me the most as far as that goes, because you're everything is on the line for that day. That's probably one of the most special days for anyone to have, and I don't want to be that responsible for capturing something that is that important. At the end of the day, if I mess up a family shot of my family or something like that, it's okay. If I mess up the wedding shot, I couldn't live with that. So I had to stay. Those people that do that are very brave.
No, they are, and they have good insurance as well. A lot of people don't know. As a photographer, you have to carry insurance. If you're a real photographer, you're going to carry insurance. You're going to have a policy. I'm not giving you my policy price. Screw you guys, because you ain't get me to do anything. But yeah, you carry insurance. You take your pictures. You do what's and the reason you have insurance is because what if your hard drive fails? What if this happens? What if an intervention transpires? Anything can happen. So like, you don't want to go somewhere and it's a destination event or whatever, you go there, you do video, you do this, you do that, and then something happens to your drive, or the camera wasn't working, or it didn't you had a malfunction, man. It could be so many things that's out of your control. You could have just bought the camera brand new. Hell, I just bought a speaker I last night from I'm gonna say the store's name, from Brandsmart. I opened it up and then it's used, and everything has damage in it or whatever. And the plastic, I looked at the seal, you could tell where they carefully removed the tape, utilized it, put it right back, and then they didn't even check it. They just put it back on the shelf. So now I have a speaker to go return today because they didn't do their job. So it's just there's so much in everything. So that being said, I'm gonna end.
And I even with like you said, things go wrong. When I was at my wedding, I gave my camera to one of my guests who was just kind of there to hang out and enjoy the time with us. And I asked him, I said, hey, do you mind, just using my camera to snap off a bunch of photos? Because I knew that the resort was going to be taking photos as well too. But to get extra shots, and Lord have something happen that they don't get the shot or something like that, then that's another opportunity to get a good shot that maybe you wouldn't have gotten before. So you always want to make sure you're getting you have more opportunities to get the best shot you can.
Yeah, just because you said that, I'll tell you what I told one of my friends. One of my friends was like, hey, can you take my wedding pictures? I was like, I would love not to. Right. Right. But I said, this is what you can do. Hire somebody to take pictures or whatever, and then I'll go to your wedding and I'll take some pictures while I'm there as well. And then that way you'll have two sets of photos. And then if you like my photos, great. If you don't, great. You know what I mean? There's no skin off my back. You paid somebody else or whatever like that. And then and our friendship remains the same or whatever. And then like I've had it to where they like my photos better and they're like, bro, let me do something for you. I was like, yeah, how about we continue on with life?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like
I agree 100%.
Yeah, man, but it's too much heartache and ailment with those types of photos. So that being said, bro, we're off, and then
okay.
I'll definitely check in with you in a bit, so we can continue our discussion. And then for the rest of you guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, complaints, moans, bitches, feel free to put them in the comment section and we'll definitely get back to you with a finger up. I'm not saying which one, I'm just saying a finger. So that being said, have a great day and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Thanks, guys.